Welcome back to the all-new HX 2015. We are here at the HX studio. This time we are joined by Kenneth Vilamil, Product and Brand Development with Hyatt Hotels. How are you? Thanks for being here.
I'm good, thank you for having me.
So we were talking about what you are calling a holistic approach as far as Hyatt is concerned. What exactly does that mean?
So in the past, I've worked in branding, marketing, communications, design, even some service and operations. And in the past, we're focused on just one discipline. When I came to Hyatt, it was very inclusive of all disciplines, and not just about the guest experience and empathy into the guests, but also a deep empathy into the actual associates, because they have to be at their best to actually bring you, to allow you to be at your best. And so it's, in the past, I've heard the buzzword empathy, but I've actually never had the experience of having a really deeply empathetic conversation with owners, with guests, and especially with our own associates. And how does that translate into the actual guest experience?
And we, earlier I was talking about a little bit about millennials and the work-life balance and things like that. And it sort of ties into what you're talking about, that holistic approach.
Completely. If your back of house is so disparate and so different from the front of house, how are your associates going to actually put themselves out at their best and then have our guests be at their best as well? Here at Ondas Fifth Avenue, the back of house is actually painted with this two-story mural with actual inspirational quotes from the associates, so that when they walk into work, they actually can be inspired. The cafe, the lounge, it's not as different as I've been in other hotels from the front of house. If we're meant to have you have this amazing experience and be really in touch with the locals, we also need to take care of our associates, and then the guests are taken care of to a level that's much more intuitive. It's not scripted where they're saying your name 2-3 times. It's very intuitive, and we let them be themselves. We let them use their own personal style to approach guests and make them feel at home.
You've certainly done a lot of work as far as brand development,
yes,
things like that are concerned in your career. What can people learn from your experiences? What are the takeaways?
I'd say the takeaway is that, I started as a cook, and I worked on the operations side. Then I was in wait staff, and then I became a marketing and communications designer after college. And then I went to architecture design. When I first went to Starwood before Hyatt, it was the first time that I actually started to look at all multiple perspectives and bring it all together. And actually wear all those hats. And obviously I have a focus, but I can actually empathize with all those different perspectives. And then when I came to Hyatt, I think I'm at the point in my career where now I understand how important it is to see a guest experience from all the different facets. So it's very much more multifaceted approach, and not just using the word empathy as a buzzword, but actually putting it into practice through all those disciplines. I just came from Zurich, and we met with operations, development, feasibility, brand, and design to have that type of conversation, how we all need to actually align and work together to create that guest experience, but also that experience for our associates too.
Do you think that's a big challenge for the industry, is finding that balance, that holistic balance?
For traditional hotels, I think, and traditional hoteliers and developers, I think it is a challenge because everyone sticks to what they know.
Sticks to their own discipline.
Exactly, sure. But they need that cross-exposure, that cross-pollination, that exposure to meetings they may not have been part of or discussions they may not have been part of early on, so that you can actually get the input from operations, you can get the input from development and make our brands, create the experiences for our brands. They're much more meaningful. If you create a memorable experience, then you're creating a deeper relationship with your guests. But we have to think about all the different aspects of what puts a hotel together. It's not a simple brand as a product or just content. It's very complex. And so if you don't have a holistic approach, multifaceted and deeply empathetic, I don't think, at least for me, coming from more lifestyle brands, you really can't output a true meaningful experience. So that's really what I've learned throughout the years.
Okay, that's great advice and information for anybody who's listening, so we certainly appreciate it. Kenneth Vilamil, we thank you for your time.
Thanks
for being here. We'll see you next time at the HX studio.